Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Paul, and in today's video, we are back on this beautiful morning to share with you the latest results for the month of December 2024 in regards to our signals that I personally call out for my students and members within our VIP room. Now, obviously, I'm a little late to the show, but as you can imagine, and as you're about to see, when you're going through all of this data, it is a little time consuming, but nevertheless, I wanted to make sure that this information is rolled out to the public. This was a phenomenal month that exceeded all expectations, which as of today is our strongest month so far with the biggest profit growth. Now, generally speaking, and to be quite frank, a lot of signal service providers like to send out the reports in formats such as this, which, let's face it, folks, anybody can write this up and put on any types of numbers and statistics that they want. So we're going to show you something similar, but in the spirit of transparency, we're going to take things a little bit further by walking through every signal we called out throughout the month of December while going through the charts, so that way you can see for yourself when and where these signals were called out and taken. This is something most signal providing services out there don't do, which granted, it's understandable because it is very time consuming. But again, in the spirit of transparency, we want to show you that what we have here is real and, more importantly, is profitable, allowing all of our students and members to make money by simply following, copying, and pasting the very signals that we call out. If you want to learn more about our free VIP gold trading room, you can visit our website or click the link down below for more information and to get started today. But without further ado, let's proceed with last month's report. All right, folks, welcome to our December 2024 report for our Gold VIP Signals Room and for the signals that we sent out for our students. Typically, the month of December is a slow trading month because of the holiday season, but regardless of the holidays, we were able to deliver quality signals that have exceeded our expectations and our profit growth in comparison to previous months. As you can see on my screen, we have listed all of the trades we called out throughout the month. Obviously, the week of the 23rd leading into Christmas, we didn't call out as many trades because of the back-to-back holiday from Christmas followed by New Year's. But as you're about to see, not only was this a phenomenal month to provide profits to our followers, especially during the holiday season, but a phenomenal way to end the year of 2024. We sent out a total of 119 trades, losing only 18 out of those 119, giving us a win rate of over 85%. Over 30,000 pips in profits from our wins, with a minor loss deduction of only 1,400 pips from our losing trades, giving us a total pip count for the month of December of 28,605. Now, for those of you who are new to the concept of pips and how this can translate into a dollar value for you, if you were trading with a micro lot size of 0.01, that's 10 cents per pip. So at over 28,000 pips delivered, that's over $2,800 in profit. If you are trading with a 0.05 lot size, that's 50 cents per pip, that's over $14,000 in profit. And again, these numbers include the 1,400 pip deduction from our losing trades. If you are trading with a 0.1 lot size, that's $1 per pip. So at 28,605 pips, that's a total profit gain of over $28,000. And with the standard lot size, that's 10 cents per pip. At 28,000 pips, that's over $286,000. All by following, copying, and pasting the signals that we deliver. Now, honestly, folks, anyone can write up numbers on a slideshow and boast about the numbers that they deliver. So in the spirit of transparency, we're going to hop into the charts and we're going to go through each signal so you'll be able to see when and where these trades were called out. Starting on December 1st at 9 p.m., which is at around 21 GMT, we called out a sell for gold at 2636 right here at this level. Price came all the way down to 2621, just short of our take profit for over 250 pips. On December 2nd, we did a call for USD JPY at 150.173. Here was our entry where our stop loss was hit for minus 80 pips. Next was a buy for Canadian dollar Japanese yen at 107.002. Here's our entry. And if we zoom out, we can see that while price did consolidate for a little bit, we were in drawdown. Price eventually did reach our targeted direction, hitting take profits 1 through 3 for 120 pips. A buy for NZD CAD at 0.82882, where take profits 1 through 3 were hit for a total of 84 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a sell at 2646 right here. Take profits 1 through 3 were hit for 130 pips. In the midst of that sell, we also had a buy entry between 2638 and 2640. From our 2638 entry, price reached 2651, hit and take profits 1 and 2 for 130 pips. Next, we had sells for gold at 2640 and 2645, right around this region. But because price peaked out at 2651, both stop losses were hit for minus 60 pips each, followed by a buy at 2646, entry point here, peaking up at 2651, hit and take profits 1 and 2 for 50 pips. A sell at 2648, hit and take profits 1 through 4 for 150 pips. A buy at 2637, and as we look at the chart, we can see that this entry is consolidated for a bit until eventually peaking at 2657 right up here for 200 pips profit. Now, because of everything that's been going on in Bitcoin and the crypto markets, we also took advantage of some Bitcoin positions. We don't typically trade as often as we do with gold, but because of the setups being presented, we took advantage of these setups. We had a buy for Bitcoin at 94,560, right around this region, which, as you could see, after some consolidation, price ended up rallying until eventually hitting take profits 1 through 3 at 97,500 right up here for 2,940 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a sell between 2647 and 2650. Here was our entry. Price came up, hit our stop loss for a minor loss of 40 pips. We followed by another sell at 2651 with a higher stop loss. Price came down, hit an all take profits for 190 pips. As price came down from our sell, we attempted a buy at 2645 right here in this region, which stopped us out for a loss of 90 pips, followed by another buy at 2639 right here in this region. As price fluctuated, we sent out some notes to bring our stop loss 20 pips into profit, just in case we saw further downside, but eventually price rallied for our buy, resulting in take profits 1 through 4 hit for 180 pips. We had a small trade here of a sell at 2642 here in this region, hit and take profit 1 for a small gain of 30 pips, a buy at 2647, hit and take profit 1 for another small gain of 40 pips. Another buy for Bitcoin at 95,560 right here. At this point, our first Bitcoin trade from the day prior was already in profit. We took another position after a break of structure, which eventually rallied to the upside, hit an all take profits 1 through 3, peaking up at 98,500 right up here for a total return of 2,940 pips. Coming back to gold, we took another sell at 2644. Here's our entry, which came down to this peak at 2637, just short of take profit 2, giving us a profit of 70 pips. A sell at 2646. Here's our entry, hit and take profits 1 through 3 as it came down for 140 pips. We did a buy between 2643 and 2645. Here's our entry. Price came up, hit and take profits 1 and 2 for 60 pips. As price came down to lower levels, we took another buy between 2635 and 2637, and we took some other buy entries between 2632 and 2634. Here's our first buy entry between 2625 and 2637, and our second entry here for our signal between 2632 and 2634. As you can see, price rallied from this point, hit an all take profits 1 through 5 for 190 pips from our 2635 entry and 200 pips profit from our 2632 entry. Shortly after, we called out for a sell. Here's our entry at 2645, which resulted in a loss for 100 pips, followed by another sell where price came back to our entry, so we did another sell at 2645, where, as you can see when we look at the charts, price consolidated for a bit. It didn't hit our stop loss until eventually coming down, reaching a low point of around 2613, resulting in take profits 1 through 4 being hit from our 2645 entry for 320 pips. Now, while that trade was active, we did call out some other positions. We did another sell at 2651. Here's our entry, which, as you can see, as price dropped, take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 260 pips. Coming back to Bitcoin, we had a beautiful sniper entry for a buy at 95,666. So if we come here to the chart, here was our entry at 95,666. Right before price rallied, hit and take profits on 1 through 3 at 99,400 for a gain of 3,500 pips. Here was just a quick post about how gold was being very idle at the time, so we took advantage of the Bitcoin trades, which worked out beautifully. And then coming back to gold, we did a sell between 2652 and 2655. Here was our entry right before the drop. Price came down, hitting our maximum take profit level at 2630, hit and take profits 1 through 5 for 230 pips. Now, during this drop, we did attempt a buy here. If you can see, let me just zoom in here. We had a reaction to this minor support level, so we called for a buy at this level between 2642 and 2646. Our entry was at 2644. With this little bounce, it hit take profit 1 for a small gain of 60 pips. Euro JPY is an asset that I don't typically trade a lot, but I wanted to add it for some variety. We sent out a buy signal at 159.01, which gave us a small spike, just enough to hit take profit 1 for a small gain of 38 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a buy at 2635. Here was our entry right at this pivot point. Price came up till around 2643, hidden take profits 1 and 2 for an 80 pip gain. Now, I did make a note that price could reject at the 2642, 2644 level for a possible sell, which was right around here. And I also sent out this picture so people could use it as a reference for entry, stop loss, and take profit levels, which we also listed. Shortly after that, as you can see from the charts and our screenshot from our entry at 2643, right around here, price dropped, hidden take profits 1 through 5 down at this level for 300 pips. A sell between 2642 and 2644, bit of a consolidation until eventually price peaked down at 2624, hidden take profits 1 through 4 for 180 pips. Another sell at 2636 right here, our stop loss was hit for a loss of 60 pips. A sell at 2640, here's our entry. As you can see from the chart and from our notes, price came down to the 2642 level right here, just short of take profit 4, hidden take profits 1 through 3 for 160 pips. Next was another sell at 2638. Price dropped to 2631. Hidden take profit 1 for over 70 pips. And then we did a buy at 2638. Now, this was on a Friday, so we entered here. And for the remainder of the day, up until markets closed, we were in drawdown. But on the opening of the market on Sunday evening, price spiked up to the 2648 level, hitting our take profits for a total gain of 100 pips. Following week, we did a buy for gold between 2638 and 2636. Here's our entry, which as you can see, take profits 1 through 5 were hit for 240 pips. We did a small scalp sell for gold between 2658 and 2660. Here's our entry at the spike, hidden take profits 1 and 2 for 70 pips. Another sell at 2662. Our stop loss was hit for a minor loss of 70 pips. A buy for USD JPY at 150.79. Here's our entry, where take profits 1 through 3 were hit for a total gain of 100 pips. Very similar to our previous gold sell, we did another sell between 2665 and 2667, which also resulted in a loss for minus 60 pips. But then shortly after that, we sent out another signal for a sell at the 2674 level, and we also had a sell at 2675. Here's our entry for our 2674 and 2675 level. As you can see, price came down to the 2656. Hidden take profits 1 through 4 for 180 pips from our first trade, and take profits 1 through 3 hit for a total for 190 pips from our second entry. Now, in the midst of our two sells, we also attempted a buy for gold at around 2666. Here was our point of entry at the time that we sent out the signal. Price came down, it came close to our stop loss, but it didn't hit. We had a bit of consolidation until eventually price rallied. So when we zoom out from our buy entry here at around 2666, price eventually rallied up, hidden take profits 1 through 5 for 290 pips. Coming back to global pairs, we did a sell for Euro AUD at 0.6470. Here was our entry with a small dip, hidden take profit 1 for 25 pips. A sell for AUD CHF at 0.5631. Here's our entry, hidden take profit 1 for a small gain of 20 pips, followed by our sell for NZD USD at 0.5825. Here was our entry, and as we zoom out, price came down as predicted, hidden take profits 1 through 3 for 100 pips. Back to gold, we have a buy between 2663 and 2665. This was a sniper entry with 0 drawdown. Price rallied up, hidden take profits 1 through 5 for 250 pips. Now, within this buy movement, we did take a couple of sell scalps, which as you can see, a sell at 2673. Here was our entry for a small gain of 30 pips. Another sell at 2675. Here's our entry for another small gain of 30 pips. Another buy for gold between 2675 and 2673. Here's our entry. Price came up, hidden all take profits 1 through 5 for 220 pips. Another sell scalp for gold between 2688 and 2690. Hidden take profit 1 for 50 pips. And then we also sent out a buy limit for gold at 2682. Now, when we look at the chart and also based off of the notes, that buy limit at 2682 didn't activate until a little bit later when price came down, hitting that level during London session. But as that trade activated, we had a little bit of drawdown followed by a nice rally, which eventually, as you can see, hit all take profits 1 through 5 for a total of 280 pip profit. But coming back to our area, we sent out a sell limit for gold at 2695 based off of the notes. And as you can see from the chart, sell limit was activated 45 minutes after signal sent. So as you can see, our sell limit was activated first, which again, came up for a little bit in drawdown until eventually coming down to the 2675 level, which allowed us to capitalize, take profits 1 through 4 for 200 pips. But during that drop from our sell limit, it activated our buy limit that we had called earlier, which again, as we covered, rallied up, hitting all take profits for 280 pips. Next day, we called out a sell between 2697 and 2699. Here's our entry, hidden take profits 1 and 2 for 90 pips. We sent out a reminder that we had high impact news events in regards to the CPI report that was sent out later today. So to anticipate the move from the CPI report, we did call out a buy for gold at around 2692 and 2694. This was a signal that we called out to trade the CPI report. We left our stop loss open just in case if there was some whipsaw action, with instructions to watch and close manually when your take profit level was hit. So our buy entry was around 2692, 2694, right around this region, with multiple take profits between 2700, 2705, and 2710. We instructed everyone to bring their stop loss to break even or into profit until eventually price hit all take profits 1 through 3 for a gain of 170 pips. Now, in the midst of that fluctuation, we did attempt a sell between 2699 and 2672. We were thinking that there was going to be some rejection. Not by much. There was only a small gain of 40 pips, followed by another buy at 2707. Here was our entry peaking out at 2726, just short of take profit 4, hidden take profits 1 through 3 for 190 pips. A buy for gold between 2717 and 2718. Take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 90 pips. A sell between 2715 and 2718. I expected this to be a scalp entry, but it ended up resulting with better profits, which as you can see from our entry, price came up and then rallied down. And actually, I don't even think I finished updating this. Price did come all the way down to what was our take profit 5 was set at 2690. So it came all the way down to this level here. So this is actually incorrect. This hit take profits 1 through 5 for over 200 pips. And then here we have a buy at 2721. Here's our entry, hidden TP1 for a small gain of 50 pips. We have another buy here at between 2713 and 2711. Here's our entry. Take profit 1 was hit for 40 pips. And then we have a sell at 2708. Here's our entry right before the drop. Hidden take profits 1 through 6 for 230 pips. In the midst of that sell, we did attempt for a buy scalp between 2695 and 2693, right around this area, which as you can see completely failed, resulting in a loss for minus 70 pips. Coming back to currency pairs, we did a buy for USD CAD at 1.4185. Here's our entry. A little bit of drawdown until eventually, as we zoom out, price came up, price rallied, hidden take profits 1 through 3 for 100 pips. Coming back to gold, we sent out a buy limit pending order between 2674 and 2671, but later on we canceled that limit order because price never reached that target zone. So we sent out 2 other buy orders for gold between 2682 and 2682 again later on in the evening, where as you can see from the chart and based off of the notes, price rallied up to 2692, allowing us to hit take profits 1 and 2 for 100 pips each. A buy between 2687 and 2685. Here's our entry for a small gain of 30 pips, hitting take profit 1. Another buy at around 2689, which resulted in a loss because as you can see, price ended up selling off, resulting in a loss of 60 pips. Here we have a sell for GBP NZD at 2.1956. Here's our entry, which as you can see, take profits 1 through 3 were hit for just over 100 pips. A buy for AUD USD at 0.6368. Our entry was around this region, right around this little spike. Hidden take profit 1 for a gain of 15 pips. And then we have a sell for NZD USD at 0.5769. Here's our entry. We had a little bit of drawdown, but if we zoom out, we can see price ended up crashing down, hidden take profits 1 through 3 for a total gain of 100 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a buy between 2668 and 2666. Here's our entry, hidden take profits 1 and 2 for a gain of 70 pips. Another buy at 2663, which resulted in a loss for minus 60 pips. And then coming back to Bitcoin, we had a buy order at 100,800. Here's our entry, in which as you can see, price fluctuated until eventually rallying, hitting all take profits 1 through 4 for a total profit gain of 3,700 pips. Back to gold, we had a sell between 2661 and 2663. Here's our entry. Hidden take profits 1 through 4 for 230 pips. Another sell at 2658. Here's our entry. Hidden take profits 1 through 5 for 230 pips. A buy for gold at 2654 was for a small gain. Hidden take profit 1 for 40 pips. We had a couple buy orders for gold. First buy order was at 2636 right here. And then we had another buy order for gold between 2633 and 2636 right around this region. As you can see from the charts and based off of the notes, price reached 2651. Hidden take profits 1 through 4 for our first trade for 150 pips, and take profits 1 through 4 from our second trade for 180 pips. A sell for Euro CAD at 1.50. Here is our entry until eventually coming down, hit and take profits 1 through 3 for 108 pips. Back to gold, we had a sell scalp between 2641 and 2643. Here was our entry in the midst of our buy orders, which came down to a point here, hit and take profits 1 and 2 for 60 pips. A buy at 2640. Here's our entry. Price rallied, hit and take profits 1 and 2 for 110 pips. And then we did another buy at 2648. Here's our entry at 2648. Here's our entry. Only hit and take profit 1 for 30 pips. A sell for USDCHF at 0.8941. Here's our entry. Hit and take profit 1 for a small gain for 25 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a buy between 2642 and 2640, and then reversed, hitting our stop loss for 100 pips. We did another buy order here at 2642 and 2639. Here was our entry for another loss of 70 pips. Then we did another buy at 2636, which also resulted in another loss. We sent out a buy limit at 2616. Price came down, activated our trade here at 2616, followed by a small rally at 2642. So just short of take profit 2, allowing us to capitalize a small gain of 80 pips. We had a buy at the 2604 level here for another small gain of 50 pips. And then we did a sell at between 2592 and 2596. Here's our entry. Hidden take profits 1 and 2 for another small gain of 90 pips. Next, we did a sell at 2610. Here's our entry. Price came down as low as 2603. Hidden take profit 1 for 70 pips. A buy between 2620 and 2618. Here's our entry. Hidden take profit 1 for over 80 pips. Then we did a sell between 2621 and 2623. Here's our entry, which we got in beautifully just before the drop. Hidden take profits 1 through 5 for 210 pips. Next, we did a sell for Euro AUD at 1.6648. Here's our entry, which resulted in very little drawdown. Hidden take profits 1 and 2 for 80 pips. And then a sell entry for Euro CHF at 0.9319. Here's our entry, some minor drawdown until eventually hit and take profit 1 for 30 pips. We have a sell at 2598 and 2600. Here is our entry. Price came down as far as 2587. Hidden take profits 1 and 2 for 130 pips. A sell at 2590. Here's our entry, which resulted in a loss for minus 50 pips. A buy limit at 2581, but we canceled the order because price never dropped to activate that trade. And then we have 2 sell trades for gold. One was at market order between 2593 and 2596. Here's our entry. And then we had a sell limit set for 2600 in case the price came up even further. From our first sell position at the 2596 entry, price reached 2589 for 70 pips down here at this level. And our sell limit set at 2600 was activated here about 30 minutes after the sell order was sent out to our students, followed by price dropping down to the 258 level, hidden take profits 1 and 2 for 110 pips. We attempted another sell between 2592 and 2594. Here's our entry, which as you can see, our stop loss was hit for minus 40 pips. Then we sent out a buy order at 2598. Here's our entry, which as you can see, price rallied, hit and take profits 1 through 5 for 290 pips. A small sell entry, a small scalp sell entry here at between 2606 and 2608. Price came down to the 2600 level, hit and take profit 1 for 60 pips, followed by another buy between 2602 and 2604. Price rallied, hit and take profits 1 through 5 for 270 pips. Now, while our buy trade was active, we also sent out a sell limit at 2630, which as you can see, activated right here at the peak. So we basically caught the top of this trade. Price consolidated for a little bit until finally dropping down, hitting our lower levels all the way down to 2608. So just above our TP5 mark for a total profit of 220 pips. Next, we had a buy for gold at 2613. So this is more of a swing trade. As you could see, price peaked at 2639 3 days later. Hit and take profits 1 through 4 for 260 pips. So if we zoom out here, folks, you can see price fluctuated for a bit, hit take profits 1 and 2 until eventually hit and take profits 2 and 3 and 4. Coming back to Bitcoin, we can see that prices were tracing to a previous support level. So we called out a signal to buy Bitcoin at 93,420. Here's our entry, which as you can see, price rallied, hit and take profits 1 through 4 at $98,000 for a total profit gain of 4,500 pips. Back to gold on Christmas Eve on the 24th, we sent out a buy signal at 26.19. Here's our entry. We had a little bit of drawdown before the rally. Price reached as far as 2639 right here at this level. Hit and take profits 1 through 4, just short of our take profit 4 at 2640. Hit and take profits 1 through 3 for 200 pips. Another buy for gold at the 2613, 2610 level. Here's our entry. Minimal drawdown with a nice rally. Hit and take profits 1 through 5 for 230 pips. On the 26th, the day after Christmas, we had a buy at 2630. Here's our entry. Take profit 1 was hit for 70 pips. And then another buy at 2628 right over here, where take profits 1 and 2 were hit for 100 pips. A buy order for USD/JPY at 157.60. Here's our entry, where take profit 1 was hit for 46 pips. A swing trade entry for a sell for NZD/USD at 0.5641. Here is our entry, and if we zoom out, we can see that price eventually hit our take profits 1 through 3 for 100 pips, followed by a sell trade entry for USD/CHF at 0.9, where we had a reversal and a break of structure, resulting for a loss of minus 80 pips. Coming back to gold, we had a buy limit at 2618, which as you can see resulted in a loss for minus 80 pips, followed by a sell at a sniper entry at 2622 with no drawdown, which dropped beautifully down to 2596, just short of our take profit 5 level for 260 pips. In the midst of that sell-off, we also entered for a buy scalp at 2605 right here at the wick. Hit and take profit 1 for 80 pips. I also sent out a notice that we are looking for potential buys for gold between the 2595 and 2590 if area holds. And then shortly after that, we went for it, entering at 2596 right here at this level, which as you can see when we zoom out, hit all of our take profits 1 through 5 for 300 pips. And to end the trading month and the year of 2024, we sent out one last signal for a buy for gold at 2612. Here's our entry. As the price of gold rallied, it hit take profits 1 through 5 for 230 pips. So there you have it, folks. All the trades that we called out for the month of December 2024, giving us our best month so far of over 28,000 pips in profit with only 18 losses out of 119 trades. A big congratulations to all of our students and members.